Take out of the faculty critiques that you got?
Jim McChrystal was an excellent instructor, I thought. I thought his critiques were very helpful. I don't know. I used to teach, right? So I feel like I have a keen eye for instructors, and Jim was fantastic. Everyone I've dealt with at NITA has been fantastic. I wrote everything that he told me down in like the main outline I keep for myself on ways to improve my law practice, right? And I know that I've incorporated a lot of it into my own practice. One example that does come to mind is questions on cross-examination, for instance. Some of my questions tended to be a little longer, and I was injecting, I don't know, say 3 or 4 separate facts into the cross-examination questions. And Jim explained to me to narrow it down, just use one fact at a time, and pin the witness down one point at a time in cross-examination. Mm-hmm. And I know that I do that. I've since done, for example, a liquor board case in Baltimore since then. And on cross-examination, I use that technique to good effect. I'm also auditing a criminal trial advocacy class at my old law school right now, and we're going through cross-examination. But that's one technique, that's one area of trial advocacy that I feel like I've already mastered because of Jim's feedback. The lectures were good. I thought that they were concise. It was nice that I was able to view them on my own schedule. I mean, that most of the people who are taking NITA's programs are practicing law 7 days a week, and our schedules, as everyone knows, are really hectic. And so I saw it as an advantage to be able to view the material ahead of time. And then any questions that I had, I was able to discuss with Jim online before we began the practical aspect of whatever segment we were working on. Mm-hmm. Well, I found it to be very effective and very helpful for my practice. I would strongly recommend it. And it's really nice being able to attend online. And I think any part of NITA's programs involves some instructional component before the practical component. The instructive part of it, the actual online part with the video chats and the practical aspect, I think it's very helpful to have it online. I think it's an excellent way to attend a NITA program because you don't have to travel. If NITA doesn't give programs in your city, you don't have to travel somewhere else, and you're not bound necessarily by the same constraints. So I would say that I do actually highly recommend it for younger attorneys. Not only because they're going to be more comfortable with it, but because I think in just a few years, I mean, it's already being done in some places, but in just a few years, it's going to be commonplace to be taking video depositions online, I imagine. And I think that's the way the practice is going, being able to set up the equipment and get used to talking to somebody over a computer and learning how that's going to differ from an in-person deposition, because I think that, again, it's going to start happening.
Yeah.
Is that there's a lot more opportunity for one-on-one feedback from the primary instructor. I mean, there were, 3 of us or 4 of us who were working with Jim, and so Jim was able to spend a lot of time giving me feedback, and I was able to spend a lot of time actually practicing and learning the skills, and that was incredibly helpful. So, I mean, I would prefer to do it online for that reason.
Did you gain anything from watching the other 3 participants during their performance? And if so, what?
Well, it's basically just learning, other small tidbits about, what to do or what not to do, because the other participants would do both positive and negative things that I would do or that I might do only once in a while. Mm-hmm. And so by observing them and listening to Jim's feedback for them, I was able to also make notes to myself that, okay, well, that's something that that I should do or shouldn't do the next time I have a deposition. It may not come up frequently, or I wouldn't think of it that way, but it just kind of, it expands your universe a little bit.
Yeah.